All right. Hi. Hello. Reporting here from the trenches. I've been shooting my upcoming video for about the last 3 days, playing catch up too, because I honestly would have preferred if the video were to come out around the time I'm posting this one, but I lost a week because I got sick for Christmas. It was a wonderful gift. Family members came bearing all sorts of respiratory viruses that made a real comfy home inside of my lungs and gave me oodles of sleep through coughing fits coming into the new year. Kicked that aside, finally, probably within the last, 4 or 5 days, and just gradually getting back into a rhythm as everyone's kind of going back to work, getting back to what they're doing. And I've been catching on to an inspiring trend of creators on this website who are recognizing that they're human and are actually trying to let themselves be human. I'm recording this on the day that MatPat announced that he's stepping aside from the game theorists and his other channels to play a more minor role versus being the big face of everything as he was for the last 13 years. Because, as a 37-year-old guy, he wants to be around and watch his kid grow up, be there for his wife. It was either last week or somewhere in that ballpark, both Tom Scott, I guess he's just he's a smart guy YouTuber. I don't really know what genre he fits into. And then the animator, MeatCanyon, Hunter Hancock, decided to also take a step back for reasons that are purely for their own fulfillment. Something that is, at least to me, foreign on this algorithmic platform, especially in how data driven everyone's success and output is, compared to like maybe 10 years ago on this website. It takes a lot of courage for some of these guys, I'll say, because at the very least, a guy like MatPat was talking about building the infrastructure and such where it's possible for him to, be a regular person. Then a guy like Tom Scott's reasoning sits more with just trying to have time to be a person, and then MeatCanyon is just trying to put more time into projects he cares about versus feeding the cycle of content that the internet encourages, through revenue and appearing in searches and so on and so forth. And then on top of that, Joel Haver is moving away from the week to week format so that he can do a project that he's excited about, to make a feature film and release a feature film once a month. These are moves that, even though some of these guys have sizable audiences, with a platform like YouTube and how much of a Wild West its own function and operation has become, these are incredible risks that some of these guys are making, but they have to make these decisions to feel good about themselves from an artistic standpoint, for one, especially looking at guys like Joel and Hunter, who just want to have the freedom to be able to make projects that they find more fulfilling versus just the week to week stuff. And Joel's fairly proud of the week to week stuff too, but I mean, I think a lot of people would say that a feature film as a piece compared to like a short that you make in a week, that's a much different ball game in terms of where it sits in like an artistic repertoire. And it's tough because a place like YouTube has allowed these guys to build audiences to where then they have some leeway to take these risks because they sold so much of themselves to have success on the platform. You know, Joel talks about how he didn't really have a whole lot of a personal life. MatPat's very similar, where he was talking about how he didn't really have time to talk about anything beyond business or even like be with his wife. These are the struggles that a platform like YouTube exacerbates because the very idea of hitting the lottery to get that audience of people to make it sustainable for you to exist as a fleeting bit of relevance on a website, none of it has any sort of, there's nothing rational about it. And some people just take the moonshot anyway and have to face the repercussions and the struggles that go with it. Like even myself, I'm not someone that has a big audience. I barely have an audience on the whole internet for that matter. And the last week, I've been spending so much time on this single project so I can try and get it out in a timely manner. But, it still comes at the sacrifice of a lot of my personal life. And I'm granted much better at balancing a lot of it, but the last few days have been writing and shooting, and I'm not spending a whole lot of time with people like my girlfriend or talking to my friends or doing things that are for me, because that's just what, in a way, I've kind of agreed to make stuff on a place like YouTube, even though I'm not trying to be like any of these YouTube guys. It's just the nature of trying to accomplish anything it's astounding. And so I just want to commend people who have these big platforms truly recognizing how inhuman a lot of its requirements are. For a guy like MatPat in building his infrastructure to also be building it in a way where he's not enforcing the lifestyle he had to live onto the people who are assuming his posts. They'll still be able to have their job and then live their life and have a balance that is healthy and rewarding. Work is only so rewarding at the end of the day because when you're on your hospital bed, your work isn't going to be standing alongside you. And so it's kind of murky territory because to try and hit that lottery, you do have to put in long hours. You do have to rub some elbow grease and stain the clothing or however you want to, whatever metaphors you want to use. But for me, I've been so heavily focused on trying to do the things I love in a sustainable way and in a way where it doesn't come at the sacrifice of people in my life, because they are going to be the ones who are supporting me, who are with me through a lot of it. And if I did it alone, I don't think it would feel the same. It's kind of it's a trope in its own right of just the getting everything you want type of story, and then you're like, oh, but no, you didn't want the success. What you wanted was the connection with people and community and all these other types of things. And so I'm happy to see this trend happening. I'm happy to see that people who have found success on this website are promoting, doing things that are healthy for your own life and for your own interpersonal relationships. Granted, I know a guy like Joel who's going and making a feature film a month. Like, that's just going to be a time-intensive project, but at the same time, it's what he wants to do, and just that's what this platform should just be about, trying to achieve the things that you find artistically rewarding, and trying to do that while not neglecting, the things that actually support your life, the foundations of your life, your family, your friends, your relationships, and all these other core tenets of humanity that are more than just whatever you can record onto a hard drive or paint onto a canvas or whatever your medium might be. At the end of the day, we're going to be in the trenches trying to make this kind of stuff. But when we come back up, we always, it's always much easier to handle everything when there's a system of support, and one person cannot cast his anchor to shore. I think it's just great that more people are trying to achieve what they want for themselves. And they're finally not just caving into what the algorithms and search engines and stuff and everything mechanized and digitized demands of people for quote unquote success. Success on the internet is so pointless. None of this is even real. If someone unplugged a server, there's a good chance that histories of humanity would be erased because we never put it onto anything physical. And I think we should remember all of that when we're putting stuff out into the world on this fake world in and of itself, because I mean, ultimately, guys like Mr. Beast and whatever other Mr. Beast person there are out there are going to be gone at some point. And who are they once their journey has ended? Who are the people that are around them? Are there people around them? That's going to be more significant for a person's longevity than the quality, or I shouldn't say the quality, than the amount of subscribers that they have on a YouTube channel that could very well be taken from them in an instant. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about here. It's great to see people trying to find more fulfillment artistically on this platform, and for them to no longer be acting at the behest of what the algorithms demand, because ultimately this is a product that we make, that people have made, and it should not be something that runs people. It should be something that is utilized by people, and that's the beauty of a place like YouTube existing, but also the kind of the sliminess and the murkiness of this also being an avenue to make money, and lots of it, and also find notoriety or any other kind of thing. Yeah, this is a cool place where you can share things with people you love, or find people who might be of your mind, or find you interesting, or find what you have to say interesting, and ultimately that is the most artistically rewarding thing. Yeah, it's cool to see where things are going, and I hope to see them keep trending in that direction. I gotta get to editing now, so hopefully I can leave these trenches soon and go back to living my life. So I'm excited to show you this video when it comes out. I'll probably do another video on this channel just promoting it or talking about the video, and we'll talk then, or before then. I don't know.